On today's show, we're going to talk about something really important that Atari is missing. And that thing that is missing, we're going to talk about coming up now. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Dadisajoke Retro Rockin Gamer episode 55. Episode 55. Wow, we made 55 episodes of this, and thanks to my messed up back and what have you, I haven't been on point on every Sunday for episodes, so it's been difficult, but I got enough strength today to do it. Okay, so today's going to be an opinion piece because there's not a ton of news coming out of Atari lately. Yes, we do have the Atari 7800 Plus coming out. We have a whole bunch of other stuff, new games for the Atari 2600 Plus and the 7800 Plus. So there's that. But here's the big missing thing that Atari needs to get their hands on. Okay? This is the biggest thing that they need to do, and it's not just my opinion, it's my son's opinion, and I'll get to that. Atari needs to get their hands on the Activision game IP from Microsoft, plain and simple. In my opinion, Activision really turned things around for Atari, in my opinion. The games that they were able to make, the advances they were able to make, better colors, better graphics, better, you name it, Activision was able to pull it off. They just didn't sit back on their heels and just make games. They were proud of their games. They put their names on the games. David Crane, who, that name is synonymous with Atari. And Mr. Kitchen also with his games too. So we need Atari to pursue this big time. I think that's their missing piece at this point in time. If they can pull in all the Activision games and start creating, recharged versions, for multiple platforms, including the Atari VCS, also to be able to re-release them as cartridges again. I mean, who wouldn't want a brand new copy of, Pitfall 2, right? That's the thing, and that's important. Now, speaking about my son is a huge Atari fan, but he's like me. He leans on the Activision games, and that's the number one reason why he won't play any games on the Atari VCS, because there isn't any Activision games. I keep on trying to get him to play the Atari VCS. He'll get interested, look at it, and get bored, and that's it. But if there was like a recharged version of Pitfall or Pitfall 2 or Keystone Capers or any of the big hits that Activision had, I think that would really bring him in. And I think it speaks volumes to the overall Atari-ness, for the lack of better words, right? They need to get those IPs from Microsoft. I think it's utmost importance. Now, I don't know if they're currently in negotiations or not. I hope they are. If not, and this is something we can discuss here, in the comments and stuff like that, is that how much would it cost? Is Microsoft willing to give it up? And if there is a cost associated and Atari maybe is not interested or what have you, who knows? Maybe we, the fans out there, we can start a GoFundMe and, get them to get everybody, who's really interested in this to throw in a couple of bucks, and maybe we can, buy it off of what's it called? The games from Microsoft, and then also, either give it to Atari or give it to them, get them to pay it at a discount. Who knows? But I think it needs to get done, and I think it's very important. The Atari games were great, especially after '83 when they started, Atari started figuring out how to make the games better, more arcadey, more comparable to the arcade games. But before that, the games weren't that great. They were okay, they were fine, but the 70s stuff was kind of iffy. And back in the day, Intellivision jumped all over that. Look at our graphics, look at their graphics, and they were showing the 70s stuff. Not really fair, but anyway, the point is, Atari really needs to get those Activision games under their belt. It's paramount. It's what's Atari without the first third party software developer out there, the first one history. It's the first third party developer for any type of platform, and the games were just phenomenal. I mean, who didn't see the commercial for Pitfall and just go, oh my god, I gotta get that, right? I even begged my parents. My dad had a business trip, which he was taking my mom to New York City. I begged them to pick me up Pitfall. And guess what? They came back and I got Pitfall. And that was like the fucking best day of my life. So why can't Atari do that now? I think that's important. I'm just going on and on about this, but it's just something that's been bugging me for the longest time. Yeah, the IPs that they have now are great, but I rather the Intellivision stuff. Yeah, they had some good games, but nothing like the M Network games, the cut down version of the Intellivision games. So the main thing is we gotta get them to pick up those games. It's important. It's something that will take Atari to the next level. They need to do that. I hope I'm not the only one who feels this way. And again, please let me know in the comments. Let's discuss this. I think this is very, very important that something gets done. And we as the fans have the power to do that. And with the internet these days, there's lots of stuff that we can do to push Atari or push Microsoft to do something with those games, because Microsoft sitting on those things it's not doing anybody any good. Honestly, it's not making anything better. It's just stupid. Anyway, folks, other than that, I mean, that's all I really have to talk about today. It's a short broadcast. My fucking back keeps on hurting me every fucking morning. I can't sleep. Hence, that's why I'm not doing any regular Sunday morning shows, just because I wake up in pain, and I wake up in the middle of the night in pain, and I can't sleep. And anyways, this is another story for another podcast or whatever. But that's the gist of this whole thing. I think it's very important that Atari does that. I mean, I don't know how impassioned or whatever I can be. It's just we need to get the fans, and everybody involved in this, and start making some inroads. I think it's very, very important. And again, it's gonna have another boost to retro gaming. Bringing Activision into Atari is just that much better. It's just that IP is so critical. Absolutely critical for, honestly, in my opinion, the success to Atari, right? It's that important. Okay, folks, that's going to be it. Once we get more detailed information about this, or we can do something about this, I'll promote it and get more people involved. Hopefully that will, shake the tree a little bit and see what kind of fruit falls from it. And once there's more news, I'll report it. If it's really huge news, whatever pain I'm feeling, I'll put it aside and report on it. Anyways, folks, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Remember to do all the subscribing and all that other crap that everybody tells you to do, because essentially I am a small channel, and any little bit of help will help. Anyways, folks, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening to me and putting up with me. And we'll talk to you next time. Take care, everybody.